Instant reaction for the Packers versus Eagles game on Friday Night Football in Brazil. It was a good game for the first 3.5 quarters. The last half of the fourth quarter, I just did not find interesting at all. Bunch of clock, running down the clock, running, boring stuff. But I wrote down some notes throughout the game to give us an idea of how the Eagles and Packers are going to look throughout the rest of the season. And considering what happened in the second to last play of the game, that is going to be a huge discussion topic of this YouTube video. So yeah, let's get right into it. And by the way, ignore the lisp in the swollen mouth. Just had wisdom tooth surgery, so that's that. All right, first thing I noticed, especially in the first half, was the Eagles' D-line looks dangerous. I mean, Josh Jacobs could not do anything at all. Once they got tired in the second half, he got going a little bit. But even then, the Packers could not do much with the run game in the second half. Eagles D-line, Jordan Davis, I believe his name is, and Jalen Carter, those two, you do not want to mess around with those two. Jalen Carter, more like Optimus Prime, all right? So that's the first thing I noticed. Eagles D-line, insane. I don't think Josh Jacobs is washed. I think their D-line is just that good this year. Jalen Hurts had 2 bad interceptions. There's no going around it. The first one was really bad. He threw into triple coverage. I don't know what he was looking at. Obviously, getting the jitters out maybe in Brazil, prime time, I don't know. And then the second interception, he threw across his body, across the field, right into Jair Alexander's hands. A.J. Brown did slip, but that's still Jalen Hurts' fault. So 2 bad interceptions. I feel like Jalen Hurts was all right today. Running the ball, he was really good in the second half. I think that's because the Packers got a little bit tired, a little bit careless. But yeah, I classify Jalen Hurts as like the 9th best quarterback in the NFL. He's an above average passer and above average running quarterback, and therefore I think he's at a fringe top 10 quarterback in my opinion. He did pretty good tonight. They got the win, so it doesn't really matter how he performed. But yeah, I think he's going to be okay with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was a huge, massive pickup. That's the next thing I want to talk about. With Saquon Barkley, Kellen Moore, and Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, even Gainwell, Kenneth Gainwell, all of those weapons together in that system with that offensive line, the Eagles are going to be dangerous. I don't care if Nick Sirianni is a clown or not. Does not matter. Eagles look good on offense, and I think they'll tighten up the loose screws. It's the first game of the season, prime time in Brazil, weird time zone. Body clocks are probably off for half the team at least. So Kellen Moore, massive pickup. That was huge. Packers have so much young talent, but there's so many penalties, guys. There's so many penalties. That needs to be fixed. And speaking of Packers, we have to get to Jordan Love. In the first, in the first 300 plays of the game, or however many plays there was before the second to last play of the game, I thought Jordan Love looked erratic and inaccurate. Had his moments, though. Definitely showed why he had those good 8 weeks last year, and definitely was showing like he's a good quarterback and has the potential to be a top 10 quarterback this year. And of course, unfortunately, it looked like he had Jalen Carter hit his ankle. He got tackled weird. I would assume that'll come to be like an ankle sprain. Hopefully it's just an ankle sprain and not something like a broken ankle or torn something. Hopefully it's just a sprain, 2 to 3 weeks, whatever. But I got news for you Packers fans. You do not want to see Malik Willis hit that field. As an AFC South fan, Colts fan, I watched Malik Willis play. You do not want Malik Willis on the field, okay? He's not a backup quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback. Let's get that straight. He couldn't even get a pass off on the last play of the game. He is horrible, okay? So Malik Willis, still horrible. That's not really news. Also in the second to last play of the game, the center went down. I think he's going to be okay. He walked off without help, assistance, so I think he's going to be okay. I think his name is Myers. So Packers had the worst possible ending to the game that you could possibly have if you're a Packers fan. That was horrible. They lost their quarterback, and they pretty much lost their center for the last snap. So hopefully he's okay. Love is probably going to be out at least a few weeks unless a miracle happens. Back to the Eagles again. Barkley is amazing. He's going to be amazing in this Eagles offense with this offensive line with Kellen Moore. Like I said, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing, even like I don't know how many receiving yards he had, but a good amount. He was a monster. Packers could not do anything about it. Saquon Barkley has not lost a step, and he's going to be even better. I think this might be his best year of his career, barring injuries. And what sucks to see is on my list here, I have Love looks like he's settling in at one point, and yeah, I hated to see that injury. I actually posted my reaction to it. I was very disappointed. I'm not an Eagles or Packers fan. I'm a football fan, all right, and I'm a Colts fan. Yeah, that hurts to see. Because I know a lot of Packers fans. I live in the Midwest. It just sucks, dude. It sucks for them. He was looking, not amazing, but he was showing those sparks. He obviously was a little inaccurate, but that doesn't mean that isn't end all be all. Those things are fixable. And I also wrote down, like I said earlier, I don't think Josh Jacobs is old. I just think the Eagles' run defense was that good. I also wrote down Hurts doesn't look that good, and when I say that good, I'm talking top 5 good. Those 2 interceptions and just careless mistakes, and I think he tried to do too much at certain points. And the Packers, I feel like they lost this game on their own. Too many penalties, too many careless mistakes, too many inaccurate passes. Like, this is more of like the Packers losing the game for themselves. Eagles did play, a decent game though. I did say this positive about Jalen Hurts. Tush push wasn't because of Jason Kelce, or maybe Jason Kelce had a little bit to do with it, but if Jalen Hurts isn't there, the tush push does not exist. You saw it with the run he had on the left side of the field. I forget. He was in the fourth quarter, and he carried like 2 Packers cornerbacks on his back for the first down for like 6 yards. Jalen Hurts squatting 600 pounds matters for that tush push, and he's the reason why it's so successful. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the game. A very exciting game for the first 3.5 quarters. Like I said, into the fourth quarter was very boring and underwhelming. But, you have those in NFL football. That's just how it's going to be. 34-29, Eagles win. Packers start 0-1. Eagles start 1-0. Jordan Love, hopefully he's only out a few weeks. We'll see what that shows up. If he's only out a few weeks, I still had the Packers making the playoffs. I think they can manage for how much talent they have. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Eagles, if they can just keep this pace that they're on right now, tighten up a few loose screws, have Jalen Hurts not make so many dumb decisions, aka the 2 interceptions, I think this team can win 10, 11, 12 games and be in the playoffs once again. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, sorry for the list. My mouth is hurting right now, if you could not tell. So I appreciate you guys. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.